If your one takeaway from that gratuitous coffee montage was the drill with the coffee grinder, yes. I really like hand grinding my coffee in the morning, but I'm sick of this constant, for minutes. One of our friends clued me into using a drill for a coffee grinder, and it has changed my life. It's wonderful. So I've been thinking a lot about this recently. I'm getting old, and sometimes I don't really consider how old I'm actually getting, but every now and then it sits at the front of my brain and it's all I can think about. I'm getting older. Like, I'm not necessarily old, but getting older, and a lot older than I was 10 or 20 years ago, which I get it, that makes sense. But I've always lived my life in such a way that I couldn't wait to get to that next stage. The one thing that I always say is I can't wait to be a grouchy, old, cantankerous man sitting on the porch, probably in torn underwear, yelling at leaves for no reason. That is the greatest way I could possibly think to spend the end of my life. That's all I want. But I've always spent my life, and I can't wait to get to the next stage. And now I think I'm at that stage that I always wanted to get to, and I don't want it anymore. I want it gone. I'm done. I want to go back to being like young and virile.
You used to be so virile.
I think that there's several stages depending on what you do with your life. I have broken mine into hangover stages. So when I was young, like 17, I could drink and the next day wake up and do everything. I was good. No problem. In my mid to late 20s into the early 30s, that's like the second hangover stage. So after a night of drinking, maybe you need a day to recover. But for the most part, it's not terrible. You take some aspirin, drink one of those blue Gatorades, and you're good to go. I'm in a third stage where I'm out for a solid 2 days if I have a night of excessive drinking. One day just to recover, and then the next day to bring myself back to normalcy. It's kind of crazy, but I want to go back to those younger days. And it's not just drinking and hangovers. That's not the point. The point is everything was so much easier when you were young, and then you get older and everything gets harder. Getting up in the morning is a little bit harder. Like doing normal things. I'm not so old that I can't do things. I mean, every single day I get up early, I go for a walk, do yoga, and then every single afternoon I go for a 10 to 20-ish mile bike ride. So it's not like I'm not doing anything, it's just all those things have progressively gotten harder and I want to procrastinate them more often. To be completely honest, if you had told me 20 years ago when I was 17 or 18 years old that I'd be here now, I would never have believed you ever, forever, for any reason. A decent full-time job, owning a house, 2 kids, married, the mortgage, the car payments, like being what I guess the world sees as a normal adult human being. Never thought that I was gonna be here, ever. This was not the life that I anticipated having. And it's not that I don't like this life. I love this life. It's wonderful. I love life. Life is great. But every now and then, I just want to go back to being a kid. And you can't. And I'm struggling with trying to teach that to my kids because Michelle, who's 10 years old, for years has always wanted to get to that next stage in her life. In elementary school, she can't wait to get to middle school, she can't wait to get older, and I'm trying to tell them from experience, getting old kind of sucks. It's actually the worst thing ever. When you get older, you have bills to pay, you have to work for a living, you have to pay mortgages, and you have to pay for cars, and all the things that you do, and all the work that you do just goes to pay for these things. But they don't get it nowadays. They just want to get older. They want to drive the car, get a job, and then move out and get on with their lives. Enjoy being a kid because being an adult sucks. And this whole rabbit hole thought process that I'm going through right now stems from one thing that happened over this weekend. On Saturday, I sat down on the couch with Miles at 10:30 and I started playing video games with him, and I didn't stop for 5 solid hours. We played Minecraft the entire time, and it was amazing. Minecraft is actually really fun, It's like Legos that you don't have to clean up, and you don't even have to buy all the different sets. You just have everything you want. It's everything I wanted when I was a kid, but I have it as an adult, which is great. So about 4 hours into that, Michelle came out, and we were talking a little bit. And Michelle said, you're awesome, Dad. You're so fun because you don't act your age. And you know what? I don't act my age. I don't like to act like an adult. I like to act like a kid because that's what I want to be again. And in exactly what she said, she should have come to the realization that being an adult is no fun and being a kid is way better. Okay, so here's the thing. About a year ago, Amanda and I started talking about possibly having another baby. Which, at the time, was just talk. It was something that we were kind of thinking about, but not really sure we wanted to do. And then the subject kind of fell off. And then a few months ago, we started talking about it again. After we had moved to Florida, we started kind of talking about it a little bit more. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure if I can do that again. I'm not sure if I have the stamina and the wherewithal and the tenacity to go through having a baby again. Because I remember waking up all night long for diaper changes, for feedings, for just general crying. I can't decide if I'm too old to go through all of that again. And not necessarily too old, but at a point in my life where I just don't want to go through that again. Because it was tough. But Miles has recently been talking about wanting a baby brother. While I can't guarantee him a baby brother, there's the talk about having a baby. And I'm not sure that I'm capable of doing that again. It's exhausting having one kid, let alone 2 kids, and then 3 kids. I don't know. We would have to buy a bigger house. Amanda and I have not talked about this in the past couple of weeks. It just the other day kind of popped into my head, and I'm not sure what I want to do about that. Gotta think about it. I'll let you know how it goes, and if the conversation ever comes back. I don't know. All right, that's it. Until next time.